Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Insight Podcast. This is your place to learn real English for real life, step by step, together. I'm Sarah, and I am so happy you are here with us today.
And I'm Daniel. And yes, before anyone says it, Sarah had coffee today, so the energy is high.
That is completely true. And Daniel, tell me, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about something small that changes lives in a big way. And most people ignore it because it does not look dramatic.
Oh, I like where this is going.
We are talking about small habits, and more importantly, how tiny daily actions quietly shape your entire future.
That is such an important topic because many people think life changes through huge decisions.
Right. They think success comes from one giant moment, one perfect opportunity, one lucky break, one magical Monday where suddenly they become disciplined.
Ah, yes, the famous magical Monday. We have all waited for her.
She never comes.
Never.
The truth is, your life is usually not changed by one huge action. It is changed by what you do repeatedly, quietly, every single day.
And that can be frustrating, honestly, because people want dramatic progress. They want fast results. They want to do one hard thing and then suddenly become a new person.
But real transformation is slower than that, and quieter than that.
So in today's conversation, we are going to talk about why small habits matter so much, how they slowly shape your confidence, your mindset, your discipline, and even your future, and why tiny actions often matter more than big motivation.
And by the end of this episode, you may never look at your daily routine the same way again.
So stay with us for this one. It might be exactly the reminder you need today.
Sarah, let me ask you something. Why do you think people underestimate small habits so much?
Because small habits feel unimportant. Reading 2 pages does not feel life-changing. Walking for 10 minutes does not feel life-changing. Practicing English for 15 minutes does not feel life-changing.
Exactly. In the moment, tiny habits feel too small to matter.
But what people forget is this. Small actions repeated many times stop being small.
A habit is powerful because it compounds. One good day changes very little, but 100 good days, that changes a lot.
It is like planting seeds. You do not put a seed in the ground and expect a tree tomorrow.
If you do, gardening may not be for you.
Exactly. You water it, care for it, stay patient, and then one day you realize something beautiful has grown.
And habits work the same way. At first, you do not see much. That is the dangerous part.
Yes, because many people quit during the invisible stage.
They say, I practiced for a week, nothing changed. I woke up early for 5 days, nothing changed. I studied English every day, but I still make mistakes.
And what they do not realize is, progress often happens invisibly before it becomes visible.
That sentence matters. Progress often happens invisibly before it becomes visible.
Your habits are building you even when you cannot yet see the result.
You know what is interesting? Most people focus only on outcomes.
Meaning?
They say, I want to lose weight. I want better English. I want more confidence. I want success.
But wanting is not enough.
Exactly. Outcomes come from systems. Results come from routines. The life you want is hidden inside what you do repeatedly.
That is powerful.
Think about confidence. People often think confidence appears first.
It does not.
No. Action comes first. Then repetition. Then skill. Then confidence.
Confidence is often the result of keeping promises to yourself.
Yes. Every time you do what you said you would do, even something tiny, you build trust with yourself.
And self-trust changes everything.
Because once you trust yourself, discipline becomes easier. Challenges become less scary. goals feel more possible.
Let us make this practical. Imagine two people.
Okay,
One person reads 10 pages a day. The other reads nothing but says, "One day I'll start when I have more time."
dangerous sentence.
Very dangerous. A year later, the first person has read thousands of pages, learned new ideas, improved vocabulary, expanded their thinking.
And the second person still has the same excuse.
Small habits look weak in one day, but powerful over 1 year.
That may be the most important lesson of this entire conversation.
And if you are enjoying this conversation so far, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep learning English with us every week.
Also, tell us in the comments, what is one small habit you want to build this year?
Daniel, I think another reason habits matter is because they shape identity.
Explain that.
Every habit is a vote for the type of person you become. When you read, you vote for being a reader. When you exercise, you vote for being healthy. When you practice English, you vote for being someone who improves.
That is good.
Thank you.
So habits do not just change what you do, they change who you believe you are.
Exactly. And when your identity changes, your standards change too.
Because once someone sees themselves as disciplined, they start acting like a disciplined person.
Once someone sees themselves as a learner, they start learning naturally.
Once someone sees themselves as capable, they stop doubting every step.
And maybe that is the real power of habits. They do not only improve your life, they slowly rewrite your identity.
And that rewriting happens quietly, one repeated action at a time.
And the strange part is, people often ignore small habits because they look too simple. They think, no, this can't change my life. It is too small. But that is exactly why small habits are powerful, because they are easy enough to repeat, and repeated actions shape your future.
Yes, and I think many people believe they need a huge breakthrough, a huge plan, a huge burst of motivation, a huge life reset on Monday morning. The famous "new life starts Monday" feeling.
Ah, yes, Monday, the day millions of people promise to become a new person, and then order fast food by 3 p.m.
Exactly. But real growth usually does not look dramatic. It looks boring. It looks ordinary. It looks like repeating tiny good choices when nobody is watching.
And that is what makes it hard, because your brain loves dramatic change. It loves excitement. It loves the feeling of, tomorrow I will transform my entire life.
And then tomorrow comes, and suddenly transforming your life feels exhausting.
Very exhausting. So, Sarah, let's talk about the first kind of small habit that quietly improves everything. What comes to mind first for you?
Honestly, morning habits. Not because mornings are magical. Not because successful people wake up at 4 a.m. and fight lions before breakfast.
Good, because if someone tells me I need to wake up at 4 a.m. to succeed, I am going back to sleep out of principle.
Same. But a small, intentional morning habit changes the emotional direction of your day. If the first thing you do every morning is grab your phone, your brain immediately enters reaction mode.
You are no longer leading your day. You are responding to it.
Exactly. But imagine this instead. You wake up. You sit for 1 minute. You breathe. You drink water. You think about one thing you want to do well today.
That sounds small. Almost too small.
Yes, and that is why people skip it. But small habits are not powerful because they are dramatic. They are powerful because they are repeatable.
That is such a good word, repeatable. Because a perfect habit done once changes very little. A simple habit done for years changes everything.
And here is another small habit that improves life more than people expect. Keeping promises to yourself.
That one matters deeply.
Because every time you tell yourself, "I will do this later," and then you do not do it, you teach your brain not to trust you.
That is powerful. You are building self-belief, or self-doubt, every single day.
Which is why tiny promises matter. If you say, I will read 2 pages, read 2 pages. If you say, I will walk for 5 minutes, walk for 5 minutes. Not because the action itself is huge, but because keeping your word builds identity.
You begin to see yourself differently. You stop being someone who wants discipline and start becoming someone who has discipline.
Can we talk about another habit people underestimate?
Absolutely.
The habit of protecting your attention.
Oh, that is a big one in modern life.
Because many people say, I cannot focus anymore. But the truth is, they have trained their brain to live in distraction.
Notifications, short videos, constant checking, 10 tabs open, music, messages, scrolling, multitasking.
And then people wonder why reading 1 page feels like mental warfare.
Exactly. Your brain becomes used to stimulation every few seconds.
So one tiny habit that changes your life? Spend even 10 minutes a day doing one thing with full attention. No phone, no multitasking, no switching tabs, just focused attention.
That habit trains concentration like a muscle. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Then it feels normal. Then one day you realize you can focus longer than before.
And that is how real change often happens. Quietly, slowly. Then suddenly you notice you are not the same person anymore.
You know what I love about this topic? It reminds people that improvement does not have to hurt to count.
Yes, growth does not always look like suffering. Sometimes growth looks like drinking more water, sleeping earlier, walking after dinner, reading instead of scrolling, speaking kindly to yourself when you make mistakes.
Especially that last one, because one of the most life-changing habits is the habit of how you talk to yourself. If your inner voice is constantly saying, I am behind, I am not good enough, I always fail, then even success feels heavy.
But if you learn to speak to yourself with honesty and kindness, you become mentally stronger. You recover faster. You keep going longer.
And no, positive self-talk does not mean pretending life is perfect.
Right. It does not mean staring in the mirror saying, I am a billionaire wizard of success.
Please do not do that.
Unless it helps.
It means saying things like, this is hard, but I am learning. I made a mistake, but I can improve. I am not where I want to be yet, but I am moving.
That word matters. Yet. One small word. Massive difference.
And if this conversation is helping you think differently about growth, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today.
Because sometimes one small idea, at the right moment, can change the direction of someone's whole week.
Or their whole life.
Okay, Sarah, before we continue, there is one final habit we need to talk about, and honestly, it may be the most underrated of them all.